What's up, everyone? Champ back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC 317. Ilia Topuria versus Charles do Bronx Oliveira is going down in Las Vegas for International Fight Week. We are here, excited. One of the biggest cards of the year. Great card. I'm super hyped for this card. So we're gonna get into it. But first, as always, we're gonna go over last week's results and see how we did. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. I can't be too mad at this. So I'll go through each one of these. The first fight I had to bet on was Muhammad Usman versus Hamdi. I went with Mo Usman. Little sketchy, to be honest. I mean, he was losing, but he was able to find moments to stun Hamdi multiple times in like rounds 2 and rounds 3, and he won the fight off just moments, honestly. Man, he looked wobbly in there, not because he was hurt, but it's like his leg is just going all over the place, but didn't even need that. He's still able to win, no problem. So, hey, shout out Mo Usman, man. Yeah, he's not that great, but Hamdi is not much better, to be honest. The next fight I had to bet on was Azat Maxim to beat Tagir Ulanbekov. That was not a bad bet by any means. I knew it would be way closer than it's implied. The 30-27s, I kind of get it. I mean, the rounds were kind of like you can give each round to Tagir, but Azat was competitive in each one of them, so I can get it. But hey, man, Azat's nice, and people are gonna remember that. And I'm a little sad I wasn't able to cash this one, but it is what it is. Azat's gonna come back and be better and get a good matchup next time, I'm assuming. So yeah, I'm high on him. I think he's pretty good, and I really like the improvements I saw in the cardio aspect. In terms of like, this is a short notice fight. I mean, I didn't expect that at all, to be honest. Like, for him to be looking like that good in like the later rounds, so there's a lot, I think. So yeah, shout out to Zot Maxim. The next fight I had to bet on was which one was next? It might, yeah, Arena Alexieva versus Claudia Segula. I had under 2.5 rounds there. Damn. But I'm not even that mad at the bet because like they went for it. So, especially like Alexieva, she went for it, wasn't able to really do much. She got dropped later on in the fight, but just wasn't enough. And Segula came into like a close to finishing position towards the end of the fight, but didn't really happen. I was really surprised Alexieva was not really enforcing the grappling, but yeah, I'm very proud of myself that I didn't bet on Alexieva at all, because it's like maybe she's able to do that, but like I had a feeling Segula was live in this fight, and that was a good call. And honestly, should I bet her? Maybe, but I didn't even think she was gonna win. So Segula showed something, I thought, and against someone who's not that good, but showing something is better than nothing. So shout out to Segula for the win. The next fight I had a bet on was, it was Jun Young Park, aka the Iron Turtle, over what's his name, Nardiev. Ismail Nardiev. I had money on Iron Turtle to be able to finish inside the distance, but if it went the distance, I get my money back, and well, I got my money back. That was a little scary. I thought that you could have gotten a DQ win, but I was like, with the location, I'm past, like, maybe they make that no contest, so like I'm not even that mad. Happy Iron Turtle won. He deserved to get that win. Yeah, he got fouled really bad, and even after getting fouled really bad, he was still drowning Nardiev. I was absolutely right on point with the pressure getting to Nardiev, and like that's when it gassed him out. Exactly what happened. So yeah, Iron Turtle's that dude. Good for him. The next fight I had to bet on was Hyun Ko, Korean Tyson, to beat or not to beat, but the +3.5 spread to beat Oban Elliott. That was an amazing call. Yeah, he looked amazing. I was like really impressed with Korean Tyson. I think I've even, like, I was thinking he was live to win the fight, but I was like, I'm still gonna go Oban. I think it's gonna be closer than what people think, which is why I play the spread. But nah, I think he is kind of pretty good, to be honest with you. I was very impressed with the things he's doing against Oban. Not that Oban's necessarily anything special. I haven't been like super high on Oban by any means, but yeah, I mean, that guy's good. I liked everything I saw. Great control. And then we've seen other dudes who I was thinking Preston Parsons would do something like this to Oban, and he didn't. But this guy could. So I think it does say something. And Karice Tyson definitely has power in his hands, so like I think it's someone to look out for. Pretty good. Shout out to the Koreans getting the double wins. The next fight I had to bet on was Nazim Sadikov. I had money on Nazim Sadikov -3.5, and I had money on Nazim Sadikov money line. Man, scary. But I gotta be careful with the -3.5s with Nazim, because that guy is willing to lose rounds. Because he definitely lost round one, because he fell down to his knees at one point. But man, he's so tough. I heard a comparison with someone saying Nazim Sadikov is Matt Frevola with the chin. Pretty accurate, to be honest. Nazim is nice. I will say I think I see a flaw in his game where I think he is susceptible to the body. Not necessarily like he'll go down to a body shot, but the body shots are there. So like a really good one could probably put him down. So something I noticed, and I'm gonna be looking out for like guys with like really good body shots, maybe to like go against Nazim. But Nazim's nice. Like this guy, I knew going in, like they set this fight up for Nazim to get a big win in Azerbaijan, and he did. Boy, did he. And that fight was so good. Great fight. One of the fight of the year so far. And he has a good chance to inspire so many like people in Azerbaijan to get into mixed martial arts, which I think is amazing. I think that's great. So shout out to Nazim for that. And cashing us for that. Which was my biggest bet of the night. It was that or Fiziev. Like, I'm not doing my math in my head. The next fight I had a bet on, was Tofik Musayev to beat Orobai. The ground game wasn't there. It didn't look like a good bet in retrospect, but it is what it is. I thought Tofik would come in and be able to like murk. I had a chance of murking Orobai, but that didn't really end up happening. He got taken down. I think the weight advantage did help Orobai. Like if he cut those extra pounds, I don't know if the fight plays out necessarily the same, but it is what it is. I'm not angry about losing that one. It sucks, but it is what it is. Tofik probably will be back. The next fight I had to bet on was Rizvian Kuniev +3.5. I'm so happy I bet the spread. Oh man. Because low-key could have won that fight. I don't know. It was close. I don't think it's like the worst robbery in the world to give it to Blades, to be honest. Because I was thinking like, this could go either way, really. I was like, round 3 is like, I don't know. I wouldn't have been mad either way, to be honest with you. I was sitting on +3.5, so like, I'm not angry at the result. I'm happy with what I had, but yeah, Kuniev looked pretty good though. There's no denying that. Blades, it's just on the feet, getting caught up a bunch of times. Like I worry about his chin. Like sure he was able to take the shots still, but it's like it doesn't look good when he's taking the shots, And the wrestling wasn't like the best ever. I was thinking he might not even wrestle going into this fight, and he did. So like shout out to Blades for that, but it was not a great look for Blades by any means. But I do think Kuniev's pretty good. He's probably on the sauce again. So there's that. Yeah, there's a reason why Kuniev got ranked after losing. So, yeah, shout out to Kuniev. Thank you for the cash. The next fight I had to bet on was Rafael Fiziev to beat Bahamondes. My man Fiziev. I'm so happy he's back on the winning track, the right track. He looked amazing. He looked fantastico. I was really surprised the game plan Bahamondes was coming in with. Why was he coming in with a kicking game plan against the guy who's one of the best, like, how do you say this? Like, best at evading kicks. Interesting. But like it looked like Fiziev had him covered everywhere. Like the better shots were being landed by Fiziev. It's just I was going in thinking I'm gonna take a full camp of Fiziev, and his home crowd is gonna be rooting for him big time. He's gonna show up, and like Fiziev is a great striker. Bahamondes is gonna strike with him. I'm going to take the guy who I know for sure is a great striker. I put dog money. And man, he pulled through. Shout out to Rafael Fiziev. He looked great. And the next fight, I had to bet on Jamal Hill. I had money on Jamal Hill to beat Khalil. It didn't look that great. It didn't look that great. Khalil worked Jamal Hill's legs very well. Jamal Hill wasn't just really able to get the offense off. He's a dog, though. There's no denying that. He's tough as nails. And that still can get him wins. Like, potentially, I want to see Jamal Hill versus Volkan Oezdemir at this point. Maybe he has a chance to win that one. He didn't look good. Khalil didn't look even that great either, to be honest with you. I didn't think he looked that great. He just, I mean, he did what he needed to do to win. I'm not going to take away from that, but I feel like he could have won in much more like entertaining fashion. So, but I mean, but then again, he got a few knockdowns, so maybe I'm being a little too harsh on Khalil. But yeah, I did seem like he was like in his mind, cardio. I need to maintain cardio, not do anything dumb. So I mean, in that standpoint, he fought smart. So yeah, I mean, there was a reason why people were leaving the building when this fight was going on. It was not a great main event, but yeah, shout out to Khalil for winning that fight. So now we'll go through the rest of that card real quick. Pull it up. I didn't do great picks wise. I didn't really do that great. Or a lot. I mean, there were some upsets, of course, which is kind of why. Talked about it. Mullins, Daria. Man, I love me some Daria. I was so happy I didn't bet this fight either. Mullins not to be trusted. I thought she'd be more willing to go for takedowns, and like when she really committed to some of them, she was able to get them. Although I like early on in the fight, she wasn't able to get them at all. Daria's doing a really good job defending. Daria lit her up. I knew it was very possible that was likely to happen. Although I was like, Mullins is gonna get it to the ground and finish it. So shout out to Daria. She did get takedowns at some points in the fight, but Daria did a good job defending. So some improvements in the game, I feel like, for Daria, and I like to see that. I like Daria a lot. I love her striking so much, and I mean, her striking was on display here. So it's a good development. I didn't want to bet against Daria because I love her. I made so much money with her against Rendon. So she has a place in my heart. Russian Queen, the Iron Lady. But yeah, Mullins, she's hard to trust. I feel like there's gonna be matchups where like, yeah, she should win, but like, I don't know. It can be dicey. I need to see like someone like a Segula again with her, and then like, oh yeah, she's gonna win that. We'll see. Talked about this one. Yeah, I went Oban here, like I said, but I was like, Coke can win. Naimov, Bogdan Grad is went exactly how I thought. This dude Naimov is, I think he's super overrated. I don't see much at all from him that tells me this guy's that good. Honestly, I really don't. I don't think he's that guy. He did enough to win. Grad was stuck on bottom for most of like round 3, and even like round 2, like Grad was putting it on him. I was like, damn, Grad's gonna potentially win this, and I live bet Grad, like pretty small, but like I still live bet him. I was like, man, like Naimov is the kind of guy to mess this up. He did what he needed to do to win. Hold top position. Not exciting at all, to be honest, but it is what it is. He had to do what he needed to do to win. Naimov wins. Did I? Nope, that's it. So perfect. Now let's get into UFC 317. Very excited for this card. Let's get into it. Janata Deniz versus Alvin Hines. I didn't look too much into Hines. I do know that Hines can grapple though, which is like, okay, I'm kind of out. But I'm gonna go Deniz round 1. Although I will say, I don't hate the idea of like Deniz decision, because I mean, again, I didn't do that much tape or anything like that. I mean, like, I'm gonna wiki cap a little bit. Okay, he's getting finishes, but like Albert Hines, like the neck on him, it looks like he doesn't go down easy. So like maybe a decision or something like that, or maybe an under is not a bad look either. I have no idea what I want to do with this fight, if I'm honest. Like, I'm just going Deniz round 1. It just seems like that's probably what's going to happen. Deniz definitely a better striker, much faster than Alvin Hines. But if he does fall over just somehow, and it's very possible he just slips randomly, it's happened so many times in many different fights, I'd be very afraid. Although it might be a good live spot to bet Deniz and like survive the round, and then he wins the rest of the fight or gets a KO in the round 2. That's very possible too. So I think those are the ways to like look at this fight. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really know what we're gonna get from Alvin Hines on short notice, heavyweight. Yeah, I'm gonna go Deniz, but those are my thoughts. Nico Price versus Jacoby Smith. This is a literal murder. This is sanctioned murder. Jacoby Smith is going to smoke Nico Price, and if he doesn't finish him early, round 1, Robbie Lawler fight was rigged. I don't think it was, but It'll bring up some questions. I think there's legitimate value on Smith under 0.5, if I'm honest with you. I think there's legitimate value in that. Plus 215, that's very possible. That's super, super possible for that to happen. This dude, Jacoby Smith, I am super high on. I think this guy is the real deal. I've been making this comparison about this guy, Mansour Abdul Malik. He fought in the Atlanta card, and I was like, I'm not super high on this guy. And I know so many people are, and I just don't see it. Jacoby Smith is who I think people see Mansour Abdul Malik as. This guy is the prospect to look out for. I know it's different weight divisions. I know this guy's 170, that guy's 185. But man, Jacoby Smith, man, this dude is nasty. This guy has an undefeated record for a reason. He's going to be a son of a gun to deal with his wrestling pedigree. He hits so hard. Pretty nice striking to combo with that. Still young, now in his prime at 29 years of age. Nico Price is here to get murdered. Sad to see, but man, Jacoby Smith is that dude. I think he's going to smoke Nico Price pretty easily. So yeah, give me Jacoby Smith all day, every day. I honestly thought like the minus 1400 or whatever it was like value. It was genuinely value. Yeah, I don't really see a world where Nico wins this. So yeah, usually it's not a good idea to parlay those things up. And I shouldn't say like you should. Oh yeah, parlay everything up. Maybe not, but I genuinely think this is like, there's a reason why he's the biggest favorite in UFC history. There's a reason. Terrence McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borshchev. This is interesting. I have a different take than a lot of people in this fight. I'm going to go Terrence McKinney. I'm going to go round 2 KO. But I will say this. I'm going to be betting Terrence McKinney rounds 2-3. And I'm going to be betting Terrence McKinney decision. Sprinkles. I'm not going to put anything crazy on this fight. I refuse to do that. But here's the reason why I'm leaning this way. 1, Vyacheslav Borshchev has insane durability. Chase Hooper should not have finished this guy. That was some BS from the referee going on there. You should not have finished this guy. I think he's extremely tough to finish. Maybe he's like his chin is like deteriorating, but I don't know. Like this guy is super durable and does a great job at keeping himself in the fight. And I think he knows going in, bro, it's going to be hell in round 1, but I'm going to do everything in my power to survive and get to round 2. But thing is, and like usually I wouldn't be saying like McKinney 2-3 or decision. Usually I wouldn't be saying this. Slava's takedown defense is so bad and it hurts me so much. I love Slava so much, but I think T-Rex is gonna be able to take him down. Even if he is gassed, I think he can backpack him. I think he can work him on the ground, even if he is gassed, and get takedowns still and hold top position. I really do. I think this is the way to look at the fight. I think playing McKinney like up front is a fine way of playing it as well if you would like the McKinney side for sure. But yeesh. I think McKinney's more likely to KO than sub Borshchev because again, Hooper's so tough. Hooper's extremely good at subbing dudes, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I in my opinion, he didn't really sub him, and he didn't have a really like he wasn't finishing the choke or whatever. It's the ref stopped it. I think it's more likely like the ref stops it out of mercy, which is why I'm going with TKO. But like, I really do think McKinney decision is live, as crazy as that sounds. But if I'm looking at some of these odds, like in Bovada, 2-3 TKO McKinney plus 700, not bad. If I wouldn't say necessarily try to get fancy with it. I don't think it's necessarily worth to get fancy with it. So like 2-3 McKinney, I think it's a good way to play it too. Yeah, McKinney decision or McKinney decision only. I don't hate it. If the fight's going all the way, there's no way McKinney's surviving like Slava if it's not going his way, in my opinion. So I think that's another way of looking at it. Terrence McKinney over 1.5 plus 400. Like some of these odds I think are just ridiculous, and I crazy. Terrence McKinney round 3 or by decision plus 650. I mean, sign me up. Like I'm willing to put sprinkles. I'm not going crazy with this. This is not the fight I want to go crazy on. But man, I think there's a legitimate value. But like in some of these like props you wouldn't necessarily want to take in most McKinney fights, like ever. And sure, and is it possible T-Rex just KOs him early? Sure, it's absolutely possible. But from a value perspective, considering the fact that Slava is so durable, considering the fact that his takedown defense is terrible, which, I mean, Terrence McKinney has to know wrestling is the path here. You do not strike with Slava Borshev, the multiple kickboxing championships or whatever his resume is. Like that, he's a kickboxer. Do not kickbox with this dude. Wrestle. You'll wrestle in every. Jacasey had easy success. Mike Davis had easy success. Tom Nolan, easy success. Chase Hooper, pretty easy success. It's as simple as that. Like you have to do that, and I think this is a good way to play it, and I think it's very live to happen. So yeah, I'm on a hill on that one, and I'm willing to be on that hill, and I'm not gonna put too much on it, but I'll make some nice money if it does hit. Viviane Araújo versus Tracy Cortez. Give me Araújo. I don't think Tracy Cortez is that great, if I'm being honest with you. I think a lot of this has to do with Tracy Cortez beating Jasmine. But keep in mind with the Jasmine fight, Jasmine went blind in that fight. I'm not blind, but like she couldn't like not maintain, but like have it. Her depth perception was all messed up because of course Tracy Cortez caused it because of the boxing, but like that stuff messed up Jasmine really bad. And even considering that Jasmine won her like one of the later rounds, I think it's round 2. It's kind of crazy considering. I don't think Tracy's that good. I think Vivi's pretty underrated still. Vivi's gas tank is like a worry. I get it. And like Cortez is going to be the one like, oh, people are thinking she's going to be on top, but I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure. Vivi's pretty nice, pretty physical herself. I think these odds are pretty crazy to me. Like I got her plus 210. Very happy with it. No, I don't have anything crazy. It's like 0.5 on it. I'm cool with it. I like me some Vivi. I like Vivi a lot more against the Karine Silva fight because Karine Silva's gas tank is god awful. It's even worse than Vivi somehow. But Vivi's super live to win this fight. Viviane Araújo's a good fighter, and I think she's being disrespected on the odds again. So give me Viviane Araújo to get this one done, even at the age of 38. Women's MMA ages don't matter as much. So and that's just been true. She still looks good physically. I think she'll be fine. Give me Viviane Araújo. Also, the reach advantage helps. Hyder Emil versus Jose Delgado. This is the fight. I think this is going to be fight of the year. Or has a good chance to be. This is going to be fight of the night. Like, this fight is going to be insane. I'm so excited. I think this fight goes all 15 minutes. I'm going to go Jose Delgado. I think Jose Delgado is just much cleaner. I that's the main reason I'm going with him. Sure, Hyder Emil can win. He's got the dog. He's got unlimited cardio. But Delgado has dog in him. He has cardio in him. I love the MMA lab and how they're going with things. There's a big age difference here. I think that matters as well. I get it. Delgado's like gotten hurt in fights and stuff like that. But again, he's a dog. This dude's a dog. I'm pretty high on Delgado, and I have some money on him. So I think Delgado's going to get this one done. I am so excited for this fight. I think this fight's going to be an absolute war. I mean, there's probably value on the under. I will say that, like, the fight not to go, because, like, these dudes are going to throw everything at one another. I promise, everything. Like, so, like, there's that, but like they're both so durable as well, which is like, that's like the murky part. So that's kind of like my thought process. I am going Delgado. I think probably if you want to play this fight some way, TKO or decision maybe, because I don't think any of these guys are going to be trying to grapple. I mean, maybe Delgado, but I'm not so sure. I think TKO or decision is going to be how this fight ends, and that's plus 110. I don't hate that. I might want to do some dictaping on that. Maybe don't quote me on that because I need to rewatch some stuff to remind myself of like Delgado has like, does he go for subs? I mean, I can look right now. Does he go for subs? Let me see real quick. Where are you at, Josie Delgado? Do you go for subs? You do. Okay. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be so crazy about this because he hasn't been going for subs for too much. Although, to be fair, Hyder Meal is pretty tough to sub himself, so there's that as well. Event page, edit. So, but I think this fight goes to decision ultimately. So maybe I retract that, but I do think probably it's going to end either by TKO or decision. I do think that's probably the most likely way, but yeah, just honestly, don't be mad. You can just sit back and relax in this one because this one is going to be fun. Have fun with this one, honestly. I think that's probably the best way to take this fight. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm going Josie Delgado. Let's go. Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriguez. Give me Rodriguez. This is my favorite spot in the entire card. I think Rodriguez is going to run through Hermansson. I know I picked decision, but like, I think he's going to... This is a very nice matchup for Rodriguez. I was on Jared Cannonier against Rodriguez. I was on him. I was very, very, very happy to be right about that one. I love me some Jared Cannonier. But I think that was a learning lesson for RoboCop. I think he's going to come back here, fight Jack Hermansson, who, reminder, this is a 3-rounder. If Hermansson versus Pyfer was a 3-rounder, Pyfer wins that fight. But there's other things to consider, like in comparison. Rodriguez has gone 3 rounds before. Like, you don't have to. I don't think you have to worry too much about his cardio in a 3-rounder. Like, I think he'll be just fine. Unlike Pyfer, who like gassed in a 5-rounder against Hermansson, that's not going to be a worry with RoboCop, in my opinion. I know he gassed out against Cannonier, but I mean, I think he was like trying to hold back his gas in like some of those rounds. But even then, he was doing pretty good at round 3 until he got hurt again, and like his chin is a worry. But on the contrary, we got Jack Hermansson on their side. Do we really have to worry too much about his chin? I don't think so. I think he's going to be just fine. So he's going to be able to come forward, no problem. I think Jack Hermansson's path to win this fight is to recreate the Chris Curtis fight. And I think it's going to be really tough. Why? Chris Curtis is one-dimensional. He's a boxer. He's trying to box. He has trouble cutting off the cage. I don't think that's going to be the same with RoboCop. RoboCop knows what Jack Hermansson's going to try to do. He's going to try and point fight. But RoboCop's going to be coming at him. He's much bigger than Chris Curtis was. He's got more versatile game. He's more willing to grapple. He's more willing to go into the clinch and put you in the clinch and like elbow in the clinch. Unlike Chris Curtis is just looking the box. Like, I think those aspects change things significantly. And the size, again, RoboCop's huge. I think it's absolutely huge for RoboCop. The time off for Hermansson, I think he got shoulder surgery. Not great. I don't take Hermansson's like taking time off. I think he'll be ready and he'll be fine. So I'm not like taking that as like, oh yeah, Hermansson's done. I don't necessarily think so. Although the aging is not necessarily the greatest thing to see, but I think RoboCop is that good. I think he's really, really good, and I think he's going to go through Hermansson. One thing I will say, I think an interesting way to play this fight is RoboCop submission or decision. I know that sounds crazy because, I mean, RoboCop tries to go for the kill, like TKOs and stuff like that. But, and I know Hermansson has a really good submission game as well, and he's does a good job defensively. But I think a club itself is super live, and Hermansson does a good job at like keeping himself like out of like danger with like TKOs and stuff like that, especially as like late, because he's not really been hit by anything. I mean, I guess the Roman Delidze one, but that was from like a calf slicer. RoboCop's got really good submission ability. It's more so me fading the KO approach from RoboCop, because I will say I did hear an interview after, or like recently, when we talk about the Jack Hermansson fight, where he's talking about it's being more patient, stuff like that. And to me, that tells me this fight's probably going long, likely, and maybe he's going to be more willing to grapple. So that's why I'm like, I'm thinking this is the approach RoboCop might take. Gregory Rodriguez submission rounds 1 and 2 plus 950. That's not bad. 2, 3 plus 1600. Not bad either. And Hermansson's pretty tough. Goes long in fights usually. So I think those are things to consider as well. What is RoboCop submission or decision? Plus 150. I don't hate it. So I think that's like a way to play it. And like, play RoboCop at plus money. Like it will be scary if RoboCop is going full ham, but I think it's live. I think the money line honestly is fine as well if you don't even want to risk it. I totally get that. But those are the things I'm looking at for this fight. I think RoboCop's going to look great here and get his way back up into being right close to the rankings. Because Hermanson, for some reason, is not ranked, which is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, RoboCop will be back there soon. Payton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. Boy, do I love me some Felipe Lima. I think he's going to win this fight. I think this will probably go to decision. I think the grappling difference is just too much here. Payton Talbot overextends a lot. Like I don't remember who exactly said this, but he overextends. He does overextend in the strikes. When someone overextends on Felipe Lima, he shoots. I mean, I think it doesn't. You don't have to put 2 and 2 together to realize Felipe Lima is going to shoot. I think he's going to have success in the grappling. Felipe Lima, very nice striker. I really wanted to see weigh-ins. I already bet Felipe Lima. I bet him pretty early because I think he's going to do his thing against Talbot. I'm super high on Lima. I think he's going to do great things at bantamweight. I'm happy to see he look good on the scales. I think he's going to have a wrestle fest. I know Jaime Barcelos is pretty good at wrestling too, but so is Felipe Lima. This dude Felipe Lima is nice everywhere. I think he's going to put on Talbot in the wrestling and keep himself safe in the striking. So, yep. Give me Felipe Lima to do good here. By the way, this spot should be Hyder Emil Delgado. This should be the opener. But oh well. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. This is just going to be me repeating what I said for... What was the card? The Islam Makhachev Moicano card, which were originally Dariush versus Moicano was happening. And Armin pulled out. Yeah, give me Dariush. I think he's going to win this fight. I'm going decision. I think KO is possible too. I just think he's just going to hit the better shots on the feet that mean more. I don't trust Moicano's chin at all. You can trust Dariush's defensive grappling capabilities. I think Moicano has to fight perfect, and I don't think he's going to fight perfect against Dariush. I think that's a tough ask for him, and I think Dariush is going to win. I got him at better odds than he is now, but honestly, I think these odds are fine. Like, I would bet Dariush is a favorite anyways. I think Dariush should win this fight. And, yeah, Dariush is still pretty good. He lost to a lot better competition than Moicano. Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan. Whoop-de-doo. You lost to those guys and got finished by them. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Moicano, not as good. I mean, Islam, obviously, but, like, we got wiped there. No shame in that, but... Yeah, BSD, that's all right. That's good. Jalen Turner, we now know he's been out of the game pretty much. Drew Dober, that's not looking so great. Brad Riddell, he's not fought since that fight or like one fight after that. Put in perspective, I think Dariush is definitely the side. Give me Beneil Dariush to win. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. This fight is so good. Give me Royval to win the decision. This is going to be a great fight. I like Royval here. I bet him at what odds did I bet him at? Like right when it came out, I got plus 135 on Royval. I'm very happy with that position. I think, but he's plus 100 now even. I think that's fine. I like Royval even as a favorite. I like him here a lot. Why do I like Royval here a lot? Joshua Van. Like, he's good. Don't get me wrong. Kind of one-dimensional. Like, Royval was already preparing for Manel Cap coming into this fight. I think there's a lot less to worry about coming into this fight than he did against Manel Cap. Because Manel Cap, he's more well-rounded in terms of, like, his striking. When I'm talking about, like, he's going to be more willing to kick, more willing to strike and keep distance. He's really good at keeping distance. Joshua Van is going to be... He's pretty one-dimensional, to be honest, because he's a boxer who's looking to keep the distance close. So, like, that's less things to worry about, even then. I know Van has really good takedown defense. I get it. But I'll tell you what, Royval can scramble with the best of them. And I think he can force insane scrambles against anyone. I mean, even against Pantoja. Pantoja not necessarily having the easiest time scrambling with him. Like, that's Pantoja. This is a big step up in competition for Van. Okay, beat Bruno Silva. Good win, especially finishing him because he's so durable. Says a lot. Ray Saruya, pretty good win, pretty good grappler, but doesn't have striking to back him up. Cody Durden, good win, but maybe not necessarily like the best thing ever because like Durden's kind of been losing as of late. Chairez, I got hurt there, but and I will say that he got hurt by a spinning elbow. You know, Brandon Royval loves that spinning elbow. I'm just saying. I'll be surprised if that hits Van and stuns him. And Charles Johnson loses Charles Johnson. That's not even a year ago. Just kind of crazy. And people are just forgetting about it. Royval is a lot better than Charles Johnson. You can rely. I mean, to be able to grapple with Tatsuro Taira, I think people are forgetting how impressive that is. Tatsuro Taira is really nice, especially in that grappling department. Like, you have to be really good in order to be able to do that. And Royval was able to do that. He's a big step up. I think he's a big step up against a guy who's already prepared for this date. Been prepared for this. And I've heard people talk about the narrative, like, oh, he had a concussion in camp or earlier this year or whatever. I really don't think Royval would be back already, like, back now, if he wasn't, like, already cleared of all that stuff and he's, like, good to go. I really don't think so. I take him as a professional. I think he's really good. The volume, I give the volume edge hugely to Royval, especially with Josh Van, who sometimes does start slow. Not as much as of late because he's been winning his round ones and like his last few fights. Although I wouldn't say like these guys are as good a striker. Bruno Silva is a good striker, but like some of those guys are as good of a strikers. But Royval, you know, he's a volume machine. He's a volume machine. I think you can't let Royval get going, especially early. I think Van's going to let him get going early. And I think that's going to be a problem for Josh Van coming in here. And he's... Sorry about that. But I will say, like, sometimes when you're looking at Van, he wants to be clean with his, like, his boxing. And again, this is my point where, like, Royval is going to be throwing out the volume. And you can't let Royval get going early. And again, there's not to mention the size difference. Royval is huge at flyweight. He is huge. I think that's something you have to absolutely mention and realize. And he's pretty durable, and his cardio is insane. Van's not gonna get Royval tired. I do not see that happening at all. So like, it's something else to mention. So I think a big step up like this, I gotta be on Royval. I like Royval here. Give me Raw Dog. I think he gets it done. Let's go, Royval. Become the champ, baby. Let's go. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. The champ is here. Pantoja should be number 2 or 3 on the pound-for-pound list. Being super disrespectful. Get this guy up there. He's super deserving. He's so good. I think Pantoja wins this fight, but I will say I think it goes to decision. I think Kai Kara France will do a fine job at defending the chokes and stuff like that. Like, I think he's going to get put to the ground, maybe get up a few times. I think Pantoja's going to be relentless. It's going to be a little bit scary, but I think Pantoja ultimately will get it done and be able to get some takedowns, get some control, and like more likely get those positions Albazi got, like for more rounds. Yeah, Pantoja's nasty. This dude is so good. Super durable too. It is a worry because Kai can crack, but hey man, Pantoja's a different breed. I think this guy's really good. I'm not so crazy about the odds in Pantoja, although it's coming down now, so I can maybe see myself get on Pantoja if they keep coming down now. But I'm interested in something like Pantoja. Where do you see this? Pantoja, like 3-4 or no, like 4 or 5 decision or something like that. I think that's a interesting way to play it. I think the fight probably goes long, so that's why I'm like looking at that. Pantoja over 3.5 plus 115. I don't hate that. Pantoja round 5 or by decision plus 150. I don't hate that either. I think those are like ways to look at it. I think if fight goes long, of course Pantoja's always live to sub anyone. He's so good. Yeah, give me Pantoja. I think the grappling is gonna be too much. I think he knows what Kai Kara France is gonna bring to the table. He's gonna be ready for defensively, and I think his chin's gonna be able to hold up fine even if Kai lands big shots, and he's gonna be able to take it into his realm, and he's gonna be the second guy to be a champion at 35 years of age. or higher, like Volkanovski. So I think he's gonna be able to do that as well. That's something else to mention though. So worth mentioning about the age. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And I'm not going super crazy about betting Pantoja this weekend. He's not going to be like my guy this weekend. I was more so my guy against Kai Sakura here. Not as much, but I do think he gets it done. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. I think Topuria wins, sadly. I want Oliveira to win, but I will tell you this. I think it's by submission. I like this a lot, and I think I'm definitely going to bet this. I'm going to bet fight ends by submission, and I'm going to bet Topuria by submission. Charles Oliveira is always allowed to submit anyone. I don't think it's going to happen, but like, I never know. But I think it's just going to go similar to how Makhachev did it. Hurt Charles on the feet. Charles goes to his back. Topuria jumps on, sub, just catches him, and done. I think that's how it's going to end up going, and Charles is always there to let that happen. He's always willing to go to his back. I think it's going to happen again. Yes, he's hittable as hell. I don't hate the approach Charles is going to take here, where he's going to keep coming forward, because if you go backwards onto the fence, it's not going to be good against Ilia. So, like, honestly, fair play. He's live to catch Ilia. He absolutely is. But I just think Ilia is going to be able to find one shot and put down Charles, or maybe Charles doesn't even get put down, but he just falls back, and then he just gets subbed and new. Why did Volkanovski have to fight Makhachev for the belt? Now Ilya's fighting an older Charles at 35 years of age. Oh man, why does it have to be like this? Yeah, 35-year-old curse as well. So something else to mention there. I do think Ilia wins. I think it's gonna be a submission. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing like that. And then on Bovada, you can see like Ilia Topuria rounds 1, 2, 3 submission at like plus, what was it? Let me check. Plus 850, ridiculous. 2, 3, 4 submission plus 1400. I'm gonna be on those. I think fight gets in the round 5 somehow. Something's not gone right. Something's not gone right for either of these guys, and I have no idea how that fight's going down. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing that submission. I'm gonna probably put like, not like a unit or anything like that, but something on it to make something nice out of it. So yeah, I'm gonna be on Ilia Topuria submissions. Fight ends by submission, which I think is also a really good look, because again, both guys really good submission artists. I think that's how the fight goes. And people are gonna be like after the fight, "Oh my God, you did what Islam Makhachev did. Oh my God, I want the fight more." I can already see it. Anyways, let's go through each of the picks again, but let's go over the significant strikes and more takedown bets I like. And are those odds up? I don't think so. No, so I'm just gonna add a lib and just say what I think happens. Denise versus Hines. I think Denise more likely to get more significant strikes, more takedowns. Alvin Hines. Now it's pretty obvious. Denise much better striker. Hines best path to victory is the grappling. Denise not gonna grapple, so yeah. Smith, Price. Smith, anything he wants. More significant strikes, more takedowns, 100%. Especially more takedowns. I mean, Price is not going to try and take this guy down. Terrence McKinney, Borshev. We just saw Borshev. I think McKinney more takedowns is pretty safe. I mean, Borshev's not going for no takedowns. McKinney more significant strikes. I'd probably lean to, because I think he's going to be landing ground and pound a bunch of it. So yeah, but I think the more takedowns is a lot more safe. Viviane Araújo, Tracy Cortez. I want nothing to do with this. I mean, I know Viviane Araújo has been outstruck in most of her fights lately, so that's why I'm like, I don't really want to say significant strikes Araújo, even though that's sort of what I think. I'm just passing on it. More takedowns, probably Cortez, because he's more willing to go for them, but Araújo's willing to go for them too. So honestly, for both of those, I want nothing to do with either of them. Tyler Emilio, Jose Delgado. This is tough. Delgado more takedown, but I got nothing for you in this one. I think Delgado's going to be the much cleaner guy, which is why I go more significant strikes him. But Hyder Emil has insane pace, so it's like, I don't know. I'm not crazy about it either way. Hermanson Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez, more significant strikes is a good look. I think more takedowns is not a bad look either. But I definitely like the 6 strikes there. I think he should. He's going to be the one coming forward and landing big shots. And I mean, Hermanson's going to be trying to outstrike him, but I think he's just going to be in the back the back foot, and Lubokop's gonna be landing the better shots, which are considered significant. Felipe Lima, Peyton Talbot. I think Lima is gonna land more significant strikes, but not necessarily because he's gonna be doing better on the feet. I just think it's gonna be from ground and pound and stuff like that. But I'm not super crazy about the significant strikes. More takedowns, Lima all day. Talbot going for any takedowns would be crazy. I don't know why he would be doing that. Lima, more takedowns all day. Benil Dariush, Renato Moicano. This one's interesting because, like, I don't like anything for that one. Moicano is probably going to be the one to put out more volume, but the better shots can be coming from Dariush. So I guess Moicano more significant strikes, but I think Dariush is still going to win just from the better shots. More takedowns, I'm honestly not sure. Like, who's going to be shooting on who. Maybe probably Moicano, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about that one either. Because Benil Dariush's takedown defense, if it's still anywhere near the same as it was, he's going to stop all of them. So, I mean, I guess Moicano's been training with Gamrot, so maybe Gamrot has some secrets. I don't know. Pass for me on both of those. Josh Van, Roy Val. I mean, Roy Val 6 strikes, I think, is a fine look because you know he's going to have that volume and you know he's going to keep that up for 3 rounds. Roy Val, more takedowns. I think he's going to be the only one really going for takedowns. Josh Van's going to be trying to stop takedowns. I think those are looks I look at. Pantoja, Kai Kara France, more takedowns. Pantoja all day. Kai is not going for no takedowns. He'd be crazy too. And more significant strikes. That could be murky because I think Kai could get some off, but he can be kind of low volume. So I'll still go Pantoja, but I can see an argument either way on that one, depending on the odds. Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira. This one's interesting. More takedowns. I want nothing to do with this one either because I can see, like, there's a chance, like, Charles lands some shots to begin with. Like, he accumulates some shots, and then Ilia just snipes him and then finishes him, but he doesn't land more 6 strikes. I think that's very possible. So I'm kind of leaning towards I don't want to even touch that. Maybe Topuria more takedowns is not a bad way to look at it. Maybe he's, like, willing to bring that fight to Charles, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't be shocked if Charles is willing to bring that fight to Topuria either, so I'm not sure about those ones either. Maybe, like, play the value side in either one of those. It's probably going to be Charles, but yeah, I'm not crazy about either of those. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. That's it. You can check me out at BetMMA.tips, champ bets, and yeah, let's have a good one. See you all. Peace. Have a great one.